Hello everybody. On this video I'll try to explain how this file works in terms of balance management and all your betting statistics. Just an overview of how it works. But before we go there, I just want to mention something about the stats tab. Just bear in mind with me that some of the information does not come up for let's call it the minor or the less popular leagues in the world, the likes of Ireland, Kazakhstan, Chile, that kind of leagues that are not very popular. Some of the stats do not come up. The likes of these ones that I've just selected, the goals, it doesn't come up. These won't show up. Some other smaller things won't come up. The statistic comments might not come up, and these stats here might not come up. Okay, just to reiterate this in case you didn't know. But most of the major leagues in Europe and South America, the most important ones in the world, they get all these stats. Another point I want to mention: before you purchase the tool, bear in mind with the requirements of in terms of Excel and in terms of what kind of machine you have running the Excel. That's important. It might not be compatible with some of the coding I have inside some of the tabs. Okay, just an highlight: as you can see on eBay, I do not give refunds, because in the end of the day you already have the file. If your machine is not compatible, well, there's nothing I can do. You already have the goods, so you need to either put the tool running in a different machine, or I don't know. Okay, so just an highlight of these two things. Now back to the purpose of this video: money management or the balance management. Now, where we start? Imagine you're using the file for the first time. So we come to this tab here, balance sheet. Okay, this thing is in blank at the moment, so there's nothing in there. For instance, imagine that we were on the 26th of May 2017, and you say that you have 100 euros deposit on your betting site or Betfair or whatever. That's your balance. That's how you started it. Okay, you can put whatever figure in there according to your thing. Okay, so you have 100 euro available to start betting. As you can see straight away, I have two columns here that kind of give you guidelines in terms of stakes. This percentages can be adjusted to whatever suits you, whatever it changes, and it tells you straight away the percentage of your current balance per date. It will give you an update of that. Okay, so myself, I'm particularly comfortable with 5% for backing stakes and 2% laying stakes. Okay, so here we go now. Now, if you're purely a punter, or if you use punter bets a lot, that's where I started. So, for instance, whatever date doesn't really matter now. Let's say one doesn't matter. No, we can. Sorry, it has to be more date. So it's 26th of the 5th, 17. Oops, 17. March. Sorry, I'll change the see here calculations to manual, so the file is not calculating all the time. Okay, so that is a bit messy, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's call it team A against team B, doesn't matter. What markets are you going to bet on? There's a couple of them already here. Now, the list of markets that can come up here are adjustable in this tab here. My stats, you go here and you can change this. This is editable. You can change this to according to the markets you usually use. Okay, so back to here. Let's call it 1x2, and the odd you're going to bet, let's call it 1.5. Doesn't matter what it is. Bet type is a back tape. You can put back or lay. Okay, back. Stake. As per my balance sheet here, I said 5%, so that's 5% of my balance. I'll put €5 there. This is how I use the file now. Sorry. This is how I use the file. It doesn't mean that you have to use it the same way, okay? So that's what it is. That's how you log your bets. Now, see the way that I've put weight in there, because I don't know the result of the match yet. So basically, it gives me I have €5 at the moment liability on this bet. If you go back to the balance sheet, you'll see that at this moment your balance is 95 because you already used €5 on the punter betting, and your current exposure liability is €5. Okay. Now, as soon as you know the result of that your bet, you can say if you win or not. If you win, just put yes. There you go. Potential return in profit. Why is this profit? Again, as I said on other videos, I only use Betfair, regardless of the type of bets I do, either punter or normal trading. So there's a 5% commission on my account. Now, if you use other betting sites, you can adjust this. Most of the, let's say, normal bookies have no commission, so you change that, and this will change your profit accordingly. If you put what I have in there, 5% for betting for Betfair, it takes 5% of my profits. That's why we get the 2.38. Okay, so go back to the balance sheet. There you go. There's your stake, there's your return, and there's your current balance. And now you can use the following stakes because you increase your balance. You can see the stakes from there, this date onwards, will be slightly higher. Okay, that's the punter simple. Oh, if you lose, you'll see. If you lose the bet, you'll see what happens. Same thing. Now, see, now you have 95 and your stake decreased slightly. Okay, so on and so forth. This will go on and on and on, and on as you put your bets in there, and they are all logged by date. Now go to multiples. Now I'll skip this one for a second because this one is a bit more complicated. So multiples, same thing. Team A and team B and team C and team D. Date, let's call it 26th. Oh, no, it's next day. Let's say 27th of the 5th. Market X2. Odds, let's call it 2. Betting type back. Oops. Back. Stake. Stake is now our stake is slightly higher. So let me see, 5.12. Oops, no, here 5.12. No, same principle. win, lose, wait. If it's waiting, yeah, basically you'll have this as a liability. Back in there just to show you. There you go, liability. Now it's on punter multiples. Now imagine you win your bet, and now you have your loss. Again, same thing. As you can see, all your balance. It gives you the cumulative profit loss in terms of percentages and your daily profit loss. Okay, and here return on investment overall, cumulative, again for punter multiples and for punter simple and for trading as well. Now to the trading, on a trading tab, this is very similar, as you can see all the time. It's the same thing. You call it team E against team F. Well, I'm imagining that you're doing this for football, so whatever it is. So over and under, max liability. This is what you are, the maximum amount that you were exposed during those trades. So let's say that max it was €5 or whatever. Do you win? Do you lose? The weight is not used here very much. But anyway, as soon as you know if you won or you lose, let's say you won, and here you have to type this after commission. What have you won or lose? So 10% profit, that is reasonable. There you go. Go back to here. There you go. Now you have all the three types of bets lined up in there. Okay, there's no liability at the moment because all the bets are closed, and that's how you work this out as you go along. This punter draw tab, it's exactly the same as the punter simple, although it has another advantage. Here it lets you use a martingale analysis in case of losing a bet, and I'll tell you how this works. So let's call it 1.4, doesn't matter, just an example. Bet type back, stake €5. Now if you put weight, again same principle as before. Imagine that you lost. Okay, so if you lost, you'll rate no. Okay, now you can get this, you see, because it's behind the thing here, but it says martingale group. So you can actually get a couple of them and group them. You just put a number in there, logical number 1, 2, 3, 4. So it basically tells you that the martingale group, which can be a number of bets, in this case it's only one, you want this to be, how do I say, recovered through martingale. Okay, so let's say next day you have another team, X or another game, and you want to recover that loss. Okay, so no matter what it is, here I'll say, and your odd is, doesn't matter, let's call it 2. Back. Now here, this is part of group 2. Okay, this is the second bet. It's not, and here you can see in here groups to recover. Okay, and I want to recover in this bet group 1. Okay, it will give you a figure that you can't see now at the moment. It's here. I need to adjust this. a little bit. Now, okay, so this tells you that you have to add an extra 2.63 euros on top of your normal stake in order to recover from there. Okay, bear in mind this already has the 5% commission I use in Betfair. Okay, so if my stake was €5, I'll use 5 plus the 263, so let's say 7.63. Okay, do I win, do I lose? Let's say I won. Okay, there you go. Now recovered all the money I've lost before, plus the profit on this one. Okay, so that's how it works. Another thing that is good to see here is you can, most of the sites now have the cash out possibility. So doesn't matter what team it is, cash out possibility. So you can, for instance, come here and say, okay, the initial lot it was 2, and I laid it, and let's call it €2, and at a particular moment I was making money. Hold on, you traded, basically you cash out, or you actually traded. So you come here, did you trade it? Yes, and your profit was at that stage 0.3 or whatever, just putting percentage because it's easy to see. This means that it won't let's say put a normal, if this bet was running till the end, you would make €2 profit minus commission, of course, but because he cashed out in the middle, he only made 30. That's fine. In this or 30 cents. This allows you to put the 30 cents in here, and it won't give you the normal lay bet. But again, I'll show you if it was a normal bet that would run to the end. You wouldn't feel this, and there you go, the 1.90 profit because it is 5% less of the commission. Okay, so if you traded in the middle of the match and you made whatever, doesn't matter, you can adjust this. Okay, and this was part of another martingale. You see the way that the numbers here change to green and red. And green and red means that if it's red, you lost money on that group of bets. If it's green, you made money, you made profit on that group of bets. So we don't need to recover from the martingale kind of thing. Okay, so that's what it is. I think this is very interesting for this kind of the possibilities that this spreadsheet can be used. Why did I call it punter draw martingale? Because I usually use these not for this kind of markets, well, this kind of markets, but for the draw only. And I have an option here for the draw. That's where I back or lay the draw depending on the matches. As you know, most of the odds for them depends on the matches, but I usually use this for balanced matches. So this is how I work, and this kind of odds more or less. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's just an example. Back to the balance sheet. It gives you all the bets I've done. As you can see, there's the bet we lost in there, and the other profits we made. Okay, so and our balance keeps going up and down accordingly. Okay, now my stats, come here to this, and it gives you the number of bets you have done, that you won, that you lost, that are waiting, in terms of percentages, in terms of values. Again, you can see all the stats related to the different types of bets you have done, and it gives you an overall view where you're making more money. Okay, again, return on investment on different types of bets in there. If you come here to this side, my stats, you click here on this update graphs, and it gives you the ups and downs of all the figures, daily profit and loss. There you go, return on investment. In May we had 70%, in July we had 10% more or less, and it gives you the graphs here per punter simple, multiples, or trading, the different graphs. There you go. What else? Monthly stats. Monthly stats. There you go. It gives you the total stakes you used in May. How much did you return? What's the return of investment? First of the month balance. May, and then in June. How many successful bets you had? How many unsuccessful? Gives you a percentage there. And now here is exactly the same thing, but broken down into simple punter simple back bets and lay bets. This can below here you have same for multiples and for the trading. Okay, so we only done one multiple, and here only done one trading. That's it. There you go. Okay, so that's basically it. I think it's very straightforward. It seems complicated in the beginning, but as soon as you start getting used to it, it's simple enough, and it gives you a good control over your balance and where you're making more money, less money, and you can focus on the specific markets that you are more comfortable with and where you are making more money. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support you've been giving to me and some ideas that you are giving to me. I might include them in the next updates of the file. And if you want to purchase the file, just follow the description below. Again, thank you very much for your support. Thank you. Bye.